Processional Gospel, Mark 11, verses 1 through 11. When they were approaching Jerusalem, at Bethphage and Bethany, near the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately as you enter it, you will find tied there a colt that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it. If anyone says to you, 'Why are you doing this?' just say this, 'The Lord needs it,' and will send it back here immediately." They went away and found a colt tied near a door, outside in the street. As they were untying it, some of the bystanders said to them, "What are you doing, untying the colt?" They told them what Jesus had said, and they allowed them to take it. When they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their cloaks on it, and he sat on it, many people spread their cloaks on the road, and others spread leafy branches that they had cut in the fields. Then those who went ahead and those who followed were shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our ancestor David. Hosanna in the highest heaven." Then he entered Jerusalem and went into the temple. And when he had looked around at everything, as it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12.
And the bells rang, and the book was opened. And so many words, sounds, stories, colors, shape came out of it. Exceptionally beautiful, extrinsically belonging, exuding novelties, extricating life. And the voice of a multitude sang, "Hosanna! Hosanna! 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 Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna! Hosanna!" And in the midst of all the noise and commotion, a murmur, a whisper anticipating what was still to come. A soft murmur asks, "Who are you? Are you the Messiah? Are you the King? Are you the one we have been waiting for? Who are you? Who are you?" Whose voice echoes in the depths of my being, making me rediscover lost memories, disguised truths, faint kindness, hidden love, unknown faith. Who are you who has the capacity of turning me inside out, upside down? Who are you whose eyes see beyond my concepts and expectations and gives them unexpected turns? Are you a king? going to a cross? I wanted a king, a strong one. But you came in weakness. Shouldn't a king ride a horse or a chariot? But you rode a donkey. I wanted an outspoken leader making statements and implementing a program, a leader with a loud voice and commanding speech, a leader of whom I should never be ashamed. But you kept silent. You didn't say a word before your accusers, and you were condemned. I wanted an outstanding Messiah capable of recreating the world with one word. But this was not the type of power that you chose to use. I wanted a king who would be prepared to be clever and strategic in self-defense, but you didn't defend yourself. I wanted someone full of himself, but instead, you emptied yourself. You disturb me, and still, I cannot run away from you. Who are you? The question about Jesus' identity is an old question. In the Gospel of Mark, the disciples often misunderstood him. For instance, in the parables, when insiders were supposed to understand the mystery of the realm of God, Jesus had to interpret the parables for the disciples because they didn't understand them. In the miracle of calming the storm, the disciples questioned who Jesus was. They were not sure about him. When Peter confessed Jesus as the Christ, seemingly understanding, Jesus rebuked him and called him Satan. For Peter rejected Jesus' self-understanding as one who must suffer and die. And later in the Gospel, in chapter 10 and 11, when Jesus spoke of his passion, the disciples responded inappropriately, arguing over who was the greatest and asking to sit at Jesus' right and left hands in glory. At the end, when Peter denied Jesus and said, "I do not know this man you are talking about," he thought he was lying, but he was not. Peter did not know Jesus. Not the Jesus who was going to be condemned and who was going to face death. Peter wanted a king, a strong one. But Jesus came in weakness. In Mark's narrative, no one called Jesus the Son of God. The title of the book declares it. The heavenly voice announced it at Jesus' baptism and transfiguration, but the disciples didn't understand it. Finally, one person did. The very man who crucified Jesus. The Gentile, the Roman oppressor, the centurion. When he saw Jesus die, he recognized him and said, "Truly, this man was God's son." Can you repeat after me? Truly, this man was God's son. Again, truly, this man was God's son. In a world where success is a driving concept, where we are expected to be the best, to achieve more and more, to be filled with goods of all sorts, what does it mean to have a God who keeps silent? A God who is mocked, and all sorts of false statements are made, and then mockery rises, misleading the multitude and stirring them up into a rage. Yet, this God didn't open his mouth. What kind of leader is this? What kind of king? Who are you? Who is Jesus for us? What will the book say now? My love is song unknown. Oh, who am I that for my sake my God should take frail flesh and die?